Okay, think we good. Oh my goodness. Let me know how I sound because it sounds like an echo. I'm probably gonna have to go through and run this through my webcam microphone. I don't get how I got this $150 Yeti microphone and yet it sounds like I'm echoing. So I'll take a second to wait to see if anybody can tell me whether or not I'm echoing. Also, my son is on the way here as we speak. So once he gets here, I'll have to step away for a couple seconds to go answer the door. You guys will probably hear the buzzer in the background when he gets here. So, but yes, it definitely sounds like an echo. I don't get it. So, Spartan God, I'm just waiting for someone to tell me whether I'm echoing or not before I go on. So if someone could be so kind to let me know whether or not I'm echoing. I've moved it around to a variety of settings. Let me try that. Still an echo. Still, what about that? Yeah, we still got echo. Yeah, I'm trying all the different stuff. So I don't think it's the headphones. I think it's something within my computer or something within this. All right, let me switch up. See here, mic auxiliary. Okay. How about that? How does that sound? Turn it down a little bit too, so it's not distorted. That's crazy. Got this $150 Yeti microphone, but yet I'm still sounding like uh, as you guys said, coming through a pipe. So let me know. How do I sound? How do I sound? So I'm ready to get underway here. Pull up. Go to Twitter and get my notes and all that good stuff. Uncompetitive. I tried. I've turned it to all of them, and I can still hear the echo. So I can come back one more time and try it. But I think it's going to echo again. Recording quality, replay buffer. Let's go to audio. I'm going to switch it back to the Yeti one more time. If it echoes, then we're just going to have to. All right, let's see what we got. I think it sounds fine now. I don't hear an echo. You guys let me know how it sounds now. Come on now, talk to me now. Talk to me now. We gotta spend the first 7 minutes of this podcast trying to resolve some technical issues. Shats, what is up? What is good, my man? How do I sound? I'm basically, I've experienced some, thanks a lot, I appreciate it, welcome back. I am experiencing some technical difficulties. Still in echo, J-Dog? Let's see here. What about that? How does that work? Turn it to the one. Shake like a heart. Let's try that one. And see how that sounds. I mean, because from my end right here, listening through my earbuds, I don't crisper, but the echo is worse. Okay. Just a minute. Let me go to my own podcast. Echo still there? All right, we're just gonna go ahead and roll the webcam till I get this thing figured out. Unbelievable. Okay. How is that? Because is it taking two inputs? Big Cloud, what is up? Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, Big Cloud. So appreciate the support. Same to you, man. Have a good podcast over there on Scumcast. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and what's up, Mick? How's it going? We're just gonna go ahead and go with the webcam. I'll keep plugging away at it and get this thing figured out. Because we're already 10 minutes into this and I haven't gotten anywhere yet, just because we've been dealing with these technical issues. But let's just go ahead and get into my tweets. And let's I think before I get into my Twitter notes, I want to take a second. This is tolerable. Yeah, it is what it is. Uncompetitive. I'm just, as long as you guys can still hear me clearly. Let me turn this down a little bit more. Maybe that'll reduce some of the distortion. Okay, so again, I want to read, you know, basically open that book up again about the Sony situation with them being, about them and the MLB license, them extending that license, and then the game expanding to other platforms. Um, I said it again that, I'll say it again that I think in Major League Baseball, I think put a little bit of pressure on Sony to expand that game to other platforms. And it is not sitting well with some people. Um, am I disappointed by it? Yeah, because I like this game to stay strictly on the PlayStation platform. But given that I know what kind of organization Major League Baseball is, as well as the other major sports organizations, the NBA, the NFL, and the NHL, they're always looking for ways to try to expand their brand and try to reach wider audiences. So I've said that before, that some of the things that Major League Baseball has done over the last 10, 20 years to try to get their brand out there, I think it was only a matter of time before they probably would have approached Sony and would have said something to them about wanting them to expand this game to other platforms. So, yes, it doesn't set in well with people. I understand that. But I think it's still the lesser of the two evils, because I've said this yesterday, that it would be an even worse situation if EA were to get hold of that MLB license, because as I said before, if EA gets hold of that MLB license, Sony will never see that license again, because EA will pay Major League Baseball the kind of money they pay for the NFL license, and they will try to monopolize the sports genre if they were to get a hold of that Major League Baseball license. I truly believe that they would try to, no, not try, I believe they would. They would take Madden, FIFA, and any other sports titles off of EA Access or off of Origin, whichever one of these subscription services it is, and I think they would have created an entirely new subscription where it would have been a sports title, a sports subscription, where you pay $10, $15 a month and can play NHL, Madden, MLB, NHL. So I think this is a lesser of the evils for Sony to retain that license and spread it out to other platforms versus EA getting it, because again, not only would they have tried to monopolize the sports genre and created a subscription dedicated solely to these sports titles, they would have microtransactioned us to death. But I didn't do the my player and the franchise mode and all that kind of stuff. Jamal Adams, what is good with you? So the microtransactions didn't really affect me that much. My biggest reasons why I stopped playing those sports titles is I got tired of the politics involving the teams that you use. When you use the best team, for instance, in past years when the Lakers were the NBA champions, I would play against people that would use the Lakers, and it was like they could do no wrong. It was like Kobe Bryant was hitting everything that he was shooting, and whenever you did stop him, they would call a foul. So it was virtually impossible. And then the teams that were supposed to be bad, the game was making you make mistakes that you didn't do. You're trying to pass the ball up court, and you try to pass it to the man on the right, but the game will deliberately throw it out of bounds on the left, when I know good and well that I didn't do this kind of stuff. And so, like NBA 2K, for instance, because it would make those kind of mistakes that I know that I didn't do myself, the game would put me in a 20-point hole. The game would literally cause all kinds of bad stuff to happen to me until I'm down like 20 points. And then it's like in the fourth quarter, then it's like, okay, now they stop these dumb turnovers. Now they take the lid off the basket. Now I'm starting to hit shots, but it's too little too late. So now I only end up losing by 8 points or something when the game, when I should have won it because the game put me in a hole. Same thing with Madden. I stopped playing Madden because, you know, my receivers were getting wide open, but because I was using some of the worst teams in the league, they were dropping easy passes. But yet teams like the New England Patriots, you had receivers catching balls in double coverage. So it was because of that kind of shit that I stopped playing sports titles. So for as much as I do not like Madden, I would definitely jump back into it if it was fully playable in VR. You guys know how I feel about that. So, so with that being said, Sony retaining that license is the lesser of the two medicines. And I would rather them have that license anyway because MLB The Show is a quality game. That's another thing about Sony. Every year, they add stuff to the game. New animations. Yeah, Pug. Yeah, Pug. I'm finally free from YouTube chill. With with MLB The Show, with Sony, they would add things to the game every year. Whereas Madden, on the other hand, there was always glitches with Madden, and then I think the way they kept people coming back every year. This is before microtransactions. How Madden would get everybody every year is that there would be a glitch on the game that would have everybody complaining. So when the year is over, EA would come out and they would promise to fix that problem on next year's Madden. They would fix it, but two more problems would come up. So again, a new exploit will come up every year. They promised to fix it, and a new exploit will come up the next year. I think that's how they kept people coming back because everybody would come back under the premise that okay, they're finally going to work all the bugs out and finally make a perfect football game. They didn't start doing that until they started doing microtransactions. So yeah, I'm pretty much for the most part I'm done with sports titles, at least from the flat screen perspective. I'll still play MLB The Show because I do absolutely love that game. It's just if MLB The Show were fully playable in VR, that would be the cherry on top. Uncompetitive. I think the next MLB will be a roster change as they have to develop for multiple platforms. Yeah, I don't doubt that. One of the big things that concern me is that being that the Xbox One S is weaker than the standard PlayStation. Will they have to shoot for that being the common denominator, and then have to scale this thing all the way down for the Xbox One S, and then have to build it back up? I hope that's not the case because I really don't want to see that because this game is quality. One second. Okay, one of my boys started up a barbecue business, so I'm just trying to find out where he's at so I can go support him. But doggone, I lost my train of thought on what I was saying about this MLB The Show situation. MLB The Show is a quality game. Not only do I think it's one of the best looking sports titles, I think year after year is one of the best looking games out there, period. It can hold its own with, just about any game out there in terms of the graphics and, just a gorgeous looking game. So that's that on that situation. I'm ready to move on to the next subject. So now it's time to get into Twitter and check out my tweets because that's basically how I bookmark everything that I want to talk about. So let me see. First up, my most recent post says, now I probably have to change glasses for this. Except this cookies crap. Xbox Series X is the worst name Microsoft could choose for its next gen console. I'll read a couple of paragraphs off of this and then give my thoughts. Phil Spencer revealed the next gen Xbox at the Game Awards last night, and we found out Project Scarlet's official name. Now, the naming scheme of the Xbox has been a meme since the Xbox 360 debuted. However, this generation especially, Microsoft came under fire for its ridiculous and confusing names it's given its console line. Apparently, the company has embraced the Ryzen by choosing to name its upcoming console the Xbox Series X. Watching the Game Awards, the Xbox Series X moniker immediately confused me. After all, we were all waiting for Project Scarlet, so this Series X name made me think this was some final evolution of the Xbox One. It wasn't until I saw the holiday 2020 release date that I realized that Microsoft had done it again. I'm not a marketing guy, but I am an expert gamer and an educated consumer. So if the naming scheme for the upcoming Xbox confused me, I can only imagine how the general public will react. Okay, so before I go into that, let me respond real quick. Stats, it has to be really hard to implement player stats and skill into gameplay and team ability versus game representation. I think with a lot of these sports titles, because a lot of these athletes, I believe, for training camp, when they report for training camp, their height, their weight, their strength, as well as their speed, all that stuff is recorded. So every year, when they basically update these rosters and stats and stuff like that for these sports titles, that's basically where I think they get a lot of that stuff from. Now, this thing about the Xbox One X series, this Xbox Series X, this name that he thinks is extremely stupid. I think for the message that Microsoft is trying to get across, I think it is the perfect name for that console. You know, a lot of people have been upset with Microsoft over the past few years because they put a lot of focus onto the PC platform. But I think at the end of the day, I got a wild echo. Damn, I've been moving around all over the place trying to address this echo. I really don't know what's going on. Damn. Okay, so let me try something else. Hold on, folks. Go to audio, speakers, webcam. Okay. So how does that sound? Or I could probably just let me try pulling the headphones, because truth of the matter is I really don't need these earbuds. Okay. Worst echo. Oh, you know what? You know what I bet the echo is? Do I have my video up? No. I'm looking at chat from the OBS. You know what I'm beginning to wonder? I'm wondering if the echo is coming. I'm wondering if my voice is bouncing off the wall and coming right back to the Yeti microphone. Let me go to my live stream and see how that sounds. Oh my God. Yeah, it sounds like two inputs going simultaneously. Okay. All right. Damn. You gonna send me a link? Damn. You gonna send me a link? Okay. I think we got it then. Okay, I think we got it then. I went inside. Oh shit. Okay, I went inside the mixer and turned everything down to 0 except for the microphone that I was talking out of. So hopefully, let me know how I sound. Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that we good to go now. So now, getting back to this situation about the name of the Xbox Series, I think again with Microsoft putting a lot of focus into PC, I think I think they deliberately made that Xbox look like a design so Xbox can feel like they have their very own PC. Because I can see people walking out of Best Buy, like I said yesterday, wearing an ugly ass Christmas sweater, coming out of Best Buy, hugging that Xbox like this, nice and tight. And somebody walks up to him and say, "Hey, is that the new Xbox console?" "No, this isn't an Xbox console. This is an Xbox exclusive PC." I can see them getting like that. Um, that's a looking at that console and the power that it supposedly has, that it's supposed to, gives you the impression that it's going to be in the general ballpark of a lot of today's PCs. It gives that it gives off that look as if Phil Spencer trying to give Xbox their very own PC. So no, we're not gonna give you quality games, but here, we've been messing around with PC and stuff like that. So here's your very own PC. Um, you said you think this is for engineering reasons. I wouldn't necessarily be so sure on competitive, and the reason why I say this is because I watched a documentary on Harley Davidson. Now, in in racing and in the AMA format, Harley Davidson was getting killed by the all the Japanese manufacturers, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha. They were killing Harley Davidson. So they released a statement that they were going to be more competitive in racing moving forward. What did they do? They quit. They quit racing altogether. So they outright lied. The reason why they outright lied is because they were developing a new street bike called the V Rod. Some of you probably heard that before. The engine on the V Rod was the engine that was used on their racing motorcycles. So, and I guess Porsche car company helped with the design of this motor. Now, here's what I found to be crazy. In the case of Harley Davidson, the style of the design of the bike came first. It was like, this is what we want the bike to look like. And then they sent it to the engineers and like, this is what the bike is going to look like. You guys figure a way to get that motor inside that, underneath that gas tank. I used to think it was the other way around. I used to think that they would build the motor and send it to the designers, and then they would design and style the bike around that motor. So it was completely the opposite. So who's to say that over at Xbox that they didn't do that? Who's to say that Phil told them, I want this thing to look like a PC tower. You guys find a way to get it inside there. Because, that design isn't very creative or very genius. So I think this thing was designed with the intentions of sitting on the floor next to your TV or next to your monitor so you can feel like you have a PC. Because if you stand this thing up, it's probably not going to fit underneath a lot of TV stands. Uncompetitive IGM are dumb, and they're saying it is too tall to fit under your TV. No one should put it under the TV. It needs yard of space above it to vent out the heat. Exactly. I truly believe this thing was built to look like a PC, and by putting it on the floor next to your TV or next to your monitor, wherever you choose to play, it's gonna look and it looks like a PC. It's probably gonna feel like you got a PC. There will no doubt, my guess, have mouse and keyboard support. So you're just gonna you're gonna feel like you got a PC with the Xbox logo on it. And it don't, these these Xbots are easily manipulated by Phil. So not to mention that when the Xbox One X came out, I said this yesterday, that the Xbots were trying to act like, hey, the PlayStation Pro isn't even on the same level as us. We don't even acknowledge them. We compare ourselves to PC. They were trying to compare this stuff to PC. Because you know how crazy they were going when the Xbox One X first came out, when you were seeing these three-way comparisons between the Pro, the X, and PC. And they were feeling like they were closer to the PC realm. So, Phil just put the cherry on top to make them feel like they're in the PC world, to make them feel like they're part of the PC master race. So they're probably going to start up another cult with this Xbox Series X or whatever. They're probably going to start up another cult and feel like this is the elite Xbox exclusive PC club, and if you don't if you're not part of that club, then don't talk to them. That's just the way it looks to me. So let's move on to the next subject, though. And if I start echoing again, please let me know. And this article said the Xbox Series X is basically a PC. I don't need to read that. Next up, possible PlayStation VR 2 patent reveals design improvement. And I got to take a look at this. Wireless signal. So Respawn First is able to track down a new patent from Sony Interactive Entertainment that is safe to say is for PlayStation VR 2. Sony's new HMD comes with a number of design changes, and the patent hints as a possible wireless signal, which means no wired connection required with PlayStation 5 or PC. Ooh. The patent in question was filed on December 12th, 2019 at the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The patent related to an HMD device and a method of determining whether the device is being worn correctly by the user. Sony's new PlayStation VR headset is trying to solve a VR issue that relates to placing the HMD correctly on the user's head. In some known VR devices, pupil tracking is used to determine if the HMD is in the correct position. The method involves capturing images of the user's eyes with a camera and using computer vision or machine learning to correctly detect the position of the pupils within the captured pictures. So, that brings us to this situation that Sick Humor talked about. I am, with MLB The Show going to Xbox and PC, and then the rumors of Horizon Zero Dawn possibly going to PC. We know Death Stranding is going to PC. Detroit Become Human with the PC. So now, I went from saying that the PlayStation 5 was going to be a day one purchase to me. Now I'm in a holding pattern because now I'm beginning to wonder if Sony is going to send any of their exclusives over to PC. If they send like The Last of Us 2, if that eventually makes it over to PC or another platform in one way, shape, or form, that's a wrap. In Sick Humor's podcast, they were talking about how the single player would probably come to the PlayStation and that the multiplayer could possibly wind up on other platforms. If that happens, that's a wrap because now they're showing me which direction they're going to go in, and I will probably not be picking up the PS5 on day one because I would actually be pretty upset if I go off and spend $500 on this console when all the games that's going to be on there, I could have got them on PC. So I'm in a holding pattern right now. So I still got my money tucked away, but I'm not pre-ordering. I'm going to sit in this holding pattern until we know for certain which direction that Sony plans to move in with their flat screen games as well as their VR games. Because I said it before, about 90% of the reason why I was even interested in getting a PlayStation 5 was because of the VR. I'm not that interested in the flat screen games. They're going to be great games, but VR is my passion. So that's my biggest reason for getting the PlayStation 5. So now I got to wait and see what they're going to do with these PlayStation exclusives. So let's move on to the next one. But before I do go on to the next one, a wireless headset would be huge though. But I seen patents before that suggested that not only have I seen patents that suggested that the new PlayStation VR headset could be wireless, I've also seen the patents that suggested that more than one headset could be connected to the console wirelessly. So that's not really, this isn't groundbreaking news to me. So let's see here. This isn't much to talk about, so I'll just give the headline and move on from there. Xbox Series X to allow, suspend, and resume for multiple games at once. So, sounds to me like you'll be able to play 2 or 3 games, stop them where you're at, and move on to something else. And when you decide to come back to that game, it'll pick up right where you left off, with no loading, not having to go to your last save or last checkpoint and load the game in that manner. So Oh well, not a big deal to me. Not a feature that's going to make me run and buy the console. I wouldn't be surprised if the PlayStation 5 has that same feature. If they don't have it and they see how well it works for the Xbox, they'll eventually do it. So, Shaz, you said PlayStation has by far the best exclusives. Would be crazy to give those up. See, unlike Microsoft, I think the Xbox is just something to do for Microsoft. Yeah, they want to make money, but the Xbox is still just something to do. Because if they shut down Xbox, they still going to make money. Um, if the PlayStation console were to go away, I would be looking at Sony with one eyebrow raised because most of their eggs are in the PlayStation basket. This is an opinionated piece. PS5 versus Xbox Series X. Will Sony dominate the next generation, or can Microsoft stage a comeback? You know what? I'm really beginning to wonder that now. I'm beginning to wonder if Xbox actually has a fighting chance next generation because of how spooky Sony is looking right now, where everybody's wondering whether or not their games are going to go to other platforms. And then whether that was a CGI trailer for Hellblade, whether it was a CGI trailer, whatever you want to call it, there's no doubt it looked gorgeous. And that one game is not enough to get me to buy a Series X. But that Hellblade, if the game actually looks that good, that's the game that could get the ball rolling for them. Um, and while we're on the subject of Hellblade, I thought that Hellblade 2, that's what I thought Ninja Theory was being brought in for in the first place. Not necessarily to make a sequel to Hellblade, but to use their talents with AAA backing behind them. Um, I didn't think they were. I didn't feel like they were brought in to do a bleeding edge. I didn't think they were brought in to do that bullshit. I thought they were brought in again to utilize their talents with AAA funding and AAA backing. So I figured, I thought if Microsoft doesn't breathe down their necks, we could be witnessing the next Naughty Dog if Microsoft gives them a little bit of creative freedom and don't handcuff them and don't breathe down their neck. Uh, King Thrash said it meant we were bringing back DRM to enable multiple suspend, resume, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I saw what he was saying, that basically you pop the disc in, it downloads the game. So now the disc basically becomes proof that you bought the game, and it becomes utterly useless like they tried to do the first time, and you probably wouldn't be able to loan it out. It's here now. DRM is here in one way, shape, or form. So even if you claim that you will refuse to buy digital downloads and you go get physical, they still hold the licenses to that, and still reserve the right to not let you play that game if you don't download the necessary updates. So that's that on that. Let me see here. The HoloLens creator says that Half-Life Alyx is the most immersive VR game that he's ever played. Not too much to say after that. You guys, anybody who knows anything about VR knows that Half-Life Alyx is a game changer. I think I said this yesterday. Excuse me. Excuse me. I said this yesterday. When it comes to current gen graphics and current VR graphics are a whole generation behind current graphics. Because we have our current graphics, the God of Wars. Hellblade uses the Unreal Engine lay. Okay. We got our current gen graphics right now with games like God of War. Even third party games look beautiful. But over on the VR side, a lot of those games look like last gen graphics. A lot of those games have PS3 and 360 graphics. And I think the only game that even comes remotely close current gen flat screen graphics is Lone Echo. That is the closest game I feel to photorealistic graphics in the VR realm. That's why Half-Life Alyx is going to be a game changer. But that Godfall and Hellblade 2 has shown us that when VR catches up and bring us current gen flat screen graphics, that flat screens get ready to make another jump into the next generation. So because of that, I think VR in the graphics department is always going to be behind flat screen. And I think one of the reasons why is because I think computers and consoles and stuff like that have to work harder to run VR games. Harry Tran, what is up? So what else do we got? Asgard's Wrath is included for free with the purchase of a Rift S until December 15th. Basically, another form of a Black Friday sale. For Black Friday, the Rift S went down to $350, and now the price is back up to $400. But it comes with a copy of Asgard's Wrath, and that game costs $40, and that game is worth its weight in gold. It is my pick for 2019 Game of the Year, and it is a VR game that has up to 40 hours of gameplay. That's damn near unheard of for a VR game that was built from the ground up. Most VR games that's built from the ground up, playtime could be anywhere from a half an hour to maybe 6 hours. But to have a game that looks as good as Asgard's Wrath and have up to 40 hours of gameplay is incredible. So I think that is a good deal for anyone who's looking to get an Oculus Rift S to be able to get a copy of Asgard's Wrath. I think that's a pretty fair deal. So good move on Oculus's part by trying to throw some crumbs out there to try to draw people in instead of just flat out selling a headset. Got to throw some stuff out there. So let's see here. PlayStation is giving away free PS4 goodies for the holidays. I haven't had a chance to read this. That is the buzzer. My son is here. Give me a second, folks. I got to go let him in. I'll be right back. Sign into the account from here and do it from here, can't you?
Do you have Unity installed?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, let's get back to it. Lock that door too when you close it. Mm-hmm. All right, yes, Harry Tran, I am finally out of YouTube jail. Thanks for your patience, everyone, as I went to go let my son in. It's December, which means Christmas and other holidays are right around the corner. And just like previous years, PlayStation is celebrating by giving PS4 players free goodies. This year is being celebrated with a free Christmas theme, dynamic theme. As you may know, European PS4 players got a similar offer the other week. However, they also got discount codes to use in the PlayStation Store. Unfortunately, there is no such offer for North American players, who will have to settle with just a free theme. That said, not everyone is getting said theme. It appears Sony Interactive Entertainment is giving them out randomly via email. Oh, that's interesting. So in other words, be sure to check your email account associated with your PSN account. Further, if you don't see anything in your inbox, be sure to peep your spam. Sometimes these emails end up there. However, there's a good chance you won't see anything from PlayStation in your email because it seems it's doing this in limited quantities. Furthermore, if you don't configure your PSN account to allow Sony to send you promotional emails like this one, well, then you're automatically out of the running. So I'm looking at this theme. It's basically a holiday theme: snow, reindeer, in a cartoon looking environment. So check your emails if you have emails, which you should. If you have a PSN account, you gotta have an email because you needed the email to start the account to begin with. So check your emails. Next up, Beat Saber wins 2019 VR Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Now, I thought that Asgard's Wrath was my 2019 Game of the Year. However, when Beat Saber was given that award, I didn't have a problem with it. But then I stopped and thought about it. Beat Saber did not come out in 2019. I think Beat Saber came out on the PlayStation. I think it came out in 2018. And I know it was out on PC before it came to PSVR because it was in early access over on PC. So how a game that's been out over a year, how a game came out before 2019 wins 2019 Game of the Year is beyond me. I mean, that would, like, how would people feel if if Sea of Thieves were to win 2019 Game of the Year, even though that trash has been out for over a year already. So, interesting. Also, Beat Saber gets the Green Day music pack, which I'm familiar with Green Day, but I don't know. Not terribly interested in it. What else? Godfall is the first game announced for the PlayStation 5, which you guys already know about that. It was a very good-looking game, but I still think the trailer that I saw for Hellblade looked a little bit better than Godfall. So, but hey, it's one game versus one game. So, in my opinion, nothing to get upset about, nothing to jump out your socks about. So, Path of the Warrior. This is a Double Dragon type game that is in VR now. You can get this game on the Oculus Store for $20. Looks interesting, you're in first person view, punching enemies, grabbing enemies, throwing them inside the restaurant or nightclub, wherever you're at. And it does, have double, and, I think it's got 3D graphics. Yeah, you skipped the Green Day DLC. 90 Degrees of Play is great. I haven't had a chance to try that yet. I've downloaded the update on both my PlayStation and PC. I know it's going to work on PC, but I'm curious to try it on my PlayStation to see if this 360 degrees works. And depending on how much I like it, that might be enough to make me break down and get Beat Saber on the Oculus Quest, because I really do want to get that game on the Oculus Quest, but I do not want to spend $30 for it. I wish they would have made that game cross-buy. So, what do we got? We know that Ghost of Tsushima launches in summer of 2020. So, I think that was good that they finally gave us a date. And truth be told, I think that is the reason it's only 90 degrees on PlayStation. Okay. I'll still check it out on both. Now, back to this thing about Ghost of Tsushima, summer of 2020. I think that, I think that Microsoft actually pulled a Sony. I think they used one of Sony's own tricks on Sony. We know that in the past, for instance, when an Inside Xbox was getting ready to come out, one of the episodes of Inside Xbox that was getting ready to come out, on that very same day, Mark Cerny gave that interview giving us a little bit of information about the PS5, and that set the whole internet on fire. Everybody pretty much forgot about Inside Xbox. Sony has done that to Microsoft on a number of occasions. When everybody started celebrating about Sea of Thieves and how excited they were about Sea of Thieves, Um, you said, wait, there's a different store for the Oculus Quest. Um, yeah, sick. But the thing, see, I don't know if you'll be able to access the Quest store from from your PC, but I know if you have the Oculus Quest app on your phone, then yes, you can access you can access stores for the Oculus Rift S, the Oculus Go, and the Oculus Quest. So yeah, if you download the Oculus app on your phone, you can check out the stores from all three of those headsets. Unfortunately, at the Oculus store, a lot of times it does not tell you whether the game is crossplay or not, because I think that's some bullshit that Oculus does to try to rope people into buying a game. Because I got caught like that when I bought Gorn. I bought Gorn for the Oculus Rift, believing that it was going to be crossplay on the Quest, but it was not. So they ended up getting my money on that one. And Oculus did not have the refund policy in place that they do now, so I couldn't get my money back for the game. But it's not a bad game, so I wasn't really looking to get my money back. But yeah, sick. If you put the Oculus app on your phone, you can choose between the three different headsets. Basically sick. Yes, there's three different ecosystems for the headsets. You have the Oculus Quest, the Oculus Go, and the Oculus Rift S. And if you have that app on your phone, you can switch between any of those headsets to see what's in those stores. There's more stuff at the Oculus Rift store because it's on PC and it's more powerful than the Oculus Quest. But the Quest gives you the freedom of no cords. You can move around. And speaking of which, I cannot wait to watch this NBA game in VR tomorrow. It was so cool. Yeah, imagine PSVR having a different store than PS4. I mean, they do have the PSVR section. You can buy PS3, Vita, and VR games on the PS4 store. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. If they had their own separate, um, yeah, I'd like that too. Yeah, I would definitely like that if they did it like that. But I absolutely cannot wait to watch this NBA game in VR. As I was saying, I watched the Video Game Awards in VR from my Oculus Quest, and I saw stuff that you guys could not see. Um, because of where they had the 180 cameras. Well, I'm going to be watching this. I'm going to be watching this game on the Quest because there won't be any wires to tie me down. So I'm going to be watching this game on the Quest. But yes, I do believe. No, no. You said they're segregating the base. Yeah. Right now, sick with the VR, as far as the Oculus community is talking about, those who support the Rift S are worried that because of this Oculus Link cable that Oculus came out with, they are feeling like the future of the Rift S might be in doubt. They're feeling like Oculus could conceivably discontinue this headset within the next couple of years because of this Oculus Link cable, which allows you to turn your Quest into a PC headset. You can plug your Quest into a PC and it basically becomes a Rift S. But yeah, the stuff that I saw when I watched the Game Awards in VR, I could see how the cameraman was like ducking down on their knees and was pointing the cameras back at the crowds. Whenever they had whoever was doing a presentation for a particular category, and giving you the nominees, what was going on there is while you guys were seeing trailers for the nominees, what I was seeing was they turned the lights down on the stage, and then the stage hands was like quickly throwing microphones and handing the trophies out so they could get ready to make the presentation. And then after the presentation was over, and then they would cut back to the host. While that was going on, the stagehands was quickly grabbing the microphones and whatever they had propped up and sliding it to the back and then drop the curtains. So that was a well organized event, and it looked like a very expensive event. So you said you wanted to upgrade your Rift. I mean, if you want that clarity, that's the best way to go, because that Rift S is crystal clear. The colors are not as vibrant as the CV1, and I've heard the colors are pretty vibrant through the Valve Index, but it is clear. It is in 1440p versus the 1200 of the CV1 that you have. And then the PlayStation VR is in 1080p. So I think if you wanted to go ahead and get a Rift S, you could, if you wanted the clarity. Because even if they stop making the headset, I think they still going to support it in terms of games being able to run on that headset. But if you want to go for that Valve Index, hey, buy me one too, because they're $1,000. I ain't got that kind of bread. Shats, that's cool to see the behind the scenes like that. Hope more events get. Shats, you have no idea how much stuff you can see in VR. Hey, sick. It sounds like it's not a huge jump going from 1200 to 1440. It's a jump. It's a jump, my brother. You will see the difference right out the gate. With the CV1, just like the PlayStation VR, it's a little bit blurry in the background. The Rift S is clear. None of that blur in the background. Yeah, it's not bad for what it is. And I hear that the audio, the headphones on there, I heard that the headphones are amazing on there. But $1,000 is just not in. You know what I'm saying? I can't be one of these dudes just getting food stamps and trying to run out and buy lobster and shit like that, so I can't do it. But yeah, Shats, man, there's so much stuff it's so much content you can see in VR. YouTube, you can watch a VR version of YouTube, whether you're on the PlayStation VR, the Rift S, or the Quest, and you can see tons of videos in 360 degrees, roller coaster rides, deep sea diving, all kinds of stuff. You can watch NBA games in VR. There's an app called Next VR that lets you watch a variety of content in VR. WWE highlights, basketball highlights, comedy shows, just so much content. Cyber Dragon, what is up? So the best thing to do, Shats, I'll tell you what. That's what you do if you want to see how much content is out there for you to watch in VR. Go download that next VR app. You said, you know what it is? It's kind of like PS5 for me, with the future of the Rift S being up in the air. I don't want to make the same mistake I did with the CV1. To a degree, I can understand that. Well, okay, well, let me put it to you this way, Sick. Yeah, you just said it right there. As soon as you bought the CV1, the Rift S dropped. Happened to me too. See, now this is where Oculus pulls some bullshit. The CV1 was on sale for $350. So my thinking was, damn, I gotta hurry up and jump on this before he goes back up to $400. It went down to $350 and stayed there. It never went back up. And I was like, damn, So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this must be the permanent price to get people to get on board with VR. No, it went down to $350 permanently because it was being discontinued to get ready for the Rift S. They didn't tell anybody that it was being discontinued and that the Rift S was coming, because they knew nobody would have bought the remaining stock of the CV1. So Oculus pulled some bullshit right there. So from that standpoint, then I understand where you're coming from about being hesitant to pull the trigger on the Rift S. The matter of fact, Sick, with the Valve Index, anyone who owns a Valve Index, whether you buy one tomorrow or whether you already own one, you get a free copy of Half-Life Alyx if you own a Valve Index, you get a free copy of that game. Doesn't matter if you bought a Valve Index 3 months ago or whether you're going to buy one tomorrow. You get a free copy of the game. So that's pretty cool on Valve's part to look out for people like that. So I'm trying to think some other chats, some other social experiences that you could check out, because I would be here all day talking about it. But VR chat, Alt Space, those are a couple of other apps that you could check out on PC VR. There's some social experiences on Alt Space.
What about Rec Room?
I wouldn't really recommend Rec Room for them. I think Rec Room is for teenagers. But Alt Space, lot of social events going on, comedy shows, concerts, and this is all in VR. Basically using avatars. Did I check out Stormlands yet? Sick. Oh yes, I did. I have the game. I even uploaded a few videos for the game. It is a gorgeous looking game, but I still think that Lone Echo, as of right now, is the best looking game that I've ever played in VR. But I think Half-Life Alyx is going to knock them off the pedestal. Shats, he said I was holding off on Quest for the same reason. I was thinking Quest 2 would come out soon. Yet I'm getting the Quest here soon. See, what you just said right there, Sick and Shats, you two right there inadvertently explain why I think the deal did not go through with Microsoft and Oculus, because Oculus is moving too fast. They come out with some kind of device, and it looks to me like they might only support it for a couple of years before they move on to the next one. So in the case of the Xbox One X, when Phil Spencer made that announcement that high fidelity VR was coming to the Xbox One X, the headset at the time that was being used was the CV1. Now they discontinued the CV1, so now if they were to keep this partnership with Oculus, when the Series X comes out, Phil Spencer is going to have to tell people that if you want to play VR, you're going to have to get the Rift S. But now, because of the Quest Link cable, the future of the Rift S is in doubt. So now, a couple of years later, he'll have to tell people that if you want to experience VR, you got to get the Quest plus spend $80 for this link cable. So over a 5-year period, Phil Spencer would have had to tell customers that they would have had to buy 3 different headsets if they want to remain in the VR ecosystem on the Xbox. I think that's why the deal didn't go through. Oculus is moving too fast for them. There wouldn't have been any longevity. So like the CV1, if they would have went ahead and put the CV1 on the Xbox One X, there wouldn't have been any longevity in it because it would have been discontinued after a couple of years. So they would not have been able to reach out to a wider audience. They only would have been contained to the people that already owned the headset on the box. They wouldn't have been able to reach out to anyone else further. So now, like I said, we jump overhead to Series X, and the current headset that's out right now is the Rift S. Now Phil Spencer's got to tell everybody, you got to buy a Rift S. If they discontinue the Rift S here in a couple of years, same deal. You're only going to be able to reach the people that are already in the ecosystem. You're not going to be able to go out further than that because the headset is discontinued. So now you got to tell people a few years later that if you want to play VR on the Xbox, you got to get a Quest plus that link cable. This is why I believe they did not bring VR to the Xbox. So if that was the case, I kind of cannot blame Phil for not going through with it, because that would have made people furious having to tell them that they got to buy 3 different headsets over a 5-year period. Look how furious people got for buying the Xbox One X and didn't get any games that took advantage of that power. Yeah, Shaz, I know he said that no one wants VR, but I think he just said that so he doesn't throw mud on Oculus, because Oculus has their own plans and they're moving at a very fast pace. So I think Phil Spencer wanted something that was going to be in place for years. Sick, you said, did you see the beat 'em up at the Game Awards? No, I didn't. I don't even know what that's about. I mean, because I woke up at the Game Awards. I woke up late to begin with. When I woke up, I think it started at 8:45, and I think I woke up at 9:30. Bro, they bought 6 Xboxes in 6 years. Yeah. And then you have to tell them to buy 3 VR headsets on top of those same Xboxes. I don't think that would have. I don't think that would fly. So everybody's speculating that the next PlayStation VR headset probably isn't going to come until 2021, 2022. If that be the case, let's say it comes in October of 2021, then you've given PlayStation customers 5 years to use the current VR headset. If they wait until 2022, then you give them yeah, Path of the Warrior. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. It's a Double Dragon looking game that's in VR, and I think I'm gonna get it. I want to get it. It's $20, a little more than I want to spend, but I want to get it. So, but I think this game is cross-buy because it does support the Oculus Rift as well as the Oculus Quest. If I get the game and the game is cross-buy, then I will stream it. You said if Phil says okay, they would accept it. But yeah, back to the PlayStation headset. If the next PlayStation headset comes out in 2022, then you've given people 6 years to enjoy that headset. So myself, I would be cool with that because after 5 or 6 years, it is time to move on to the next headset. Oh yeah, you're gonna be on it? Hey, stream it, stream it. I love Robo Recall. This shit is gonna be amazing. If you like those beat 'em up games, sick, you might want to check out Drunken Bar Fight too. I have that game for the PSVR, but I think is multiplayer on PC. I think in the form of co-op. It's a beat 'em up game too. You inside a bar, people in the bar minding their own business, and you just walk in there and start fighting with them. You can grab beer bottles and crack them over the head. You can grab. I think you can crack them over the head with pool sticks. I think there's like pool sticks and shit like that you can grab off the wall and crack them over the head with pool sticks. I think there's a gumball machine that's sitting on the at the bar that you can crack them over the head with a gumball machine, and gumballs go rolling all over the floor. So actually I did a stream. I think I did a stream about a year and a half ago for a Drunken Bar Fight, and I think I called it, like "Bitch Better Have My Money" or something like that. So the skit that I did, I was a pimp walking into the bar, and I was getting on top of this hooker's head for not having my money. So I beat her up for not having my money. Yeah, both of these games are out already. Drunken Bar Fight's been out for about a year and a half, and Path of the Warrior, it came out right that minute that they announced it at the Game Awards. It went live right that minute. So yeah, both of those games are out. Path of the Warrior is $20. I think Drunken Bar Fight is $15. But Drunken Bar Fight though, if you're interested in getting that game, I would say check out G2A first and see if you can find it there. See if somebody got a Steam code for the game. Maybe you can catch the game for $5, because that has helped me get some of my games a little bit cheaper. Yeah, Shats. Go into my library, because man, I didn't know I had so many videos. I got over 700 videos. So I think the best way to find it is just go into my videos, and in the search, just type in Drunken Bar Fight, and whatever videos I got in Drunken Bar Fight, it should be there, and you'll see the one where, I'm talking to the woman, and I'm like, "Hey, bitch, I thought I told you to have my money. Where my motherfucking money at? Get your ass back out on that corner and make that money." In my Charlie Murphy voice. So check it out. I think it's pretty funny. So yeah, check it out. Go to my library, check it out. So I'll probably do something similar. If I end up getting Path of the Warrior, I'll probably do like a similar skit with that. So if I get it, check it out. I think I got a couple of more topics to get into, and then that might be a wrap. Mortal Kombat 11 adds crossplay on PS4, Xbox One. Boy, this crossplay thing. You sound like a pimp named Slipback. Smacking him up, son. And see, the thing about it was that skit that I did where I was, confronting that hooker for not having my money. Um, I made a skit like the chick was refusing to get out on the corner. I'm like, let me get this straight. You ain't gonna get your ass out there and get that money. And I was like, don't you ever talk to me like that. As soon as I hit her ass, everybody in that bar came after me. So I was like fighting 4 dudes, including the chick. So again, go check it out. It's pretty funny. But yeah, let me see. Mortal Kombat 11 has crossplay on Xbox One and PS4. Interesting. Looks like this crossplay things are starting to pick up a little bit of steam. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I was not in favor of it. I felt like Sony should not have done it because I felt like I think that was one of the steps in devaluing the console uh, by taking one of the reasons to purchase this console out of people's hands. So let me see. I got a couple of more. Pavlov on the Quest has been delayed until 2020. Soft launch next week. So soft launch, I don't know if that means early access on the Quest or if that means continued support through side quest. But I don't really need to play it on the Quest because I've got it on the Rift S, and the biggest reason why I bought it, why I side loaded it on the Quest, is because my son wanted the game, but I had not got him a Rift S or a gaming PC yet. So I originally bought that Quest for him. So that was basically the Quest was to get him through until I got him a gaming PC and a Rift S. Now that he's got those, the Quest is basically just something that it's a lot more convenient because when I go to fire up my PC, I feel like a damn manager walking into a building and turning on every damn light in the building and turning off the alarm so the police don't invade that mug. I feel like I'm doing a lot of work when I turn my PC on. With the Quest, I just put it on, hit that power button, and start playing. It's just that simple. Uh, Harry Tran, you said Xbox could partner with Lenovo for the VR, which they could because the Rift S, I believe, is the design of Sony because they designed a headset and they licensed it out to Lenovo. Hence, you have the Rift S, which has a Halo design similar to the PlayStation VR, because that headset was built by Lenovo, which I believe was built on the designs by Sony that was licensed out to them. So, in a sense, the Rift S, you could almost look at it like a PSVR mid-gen refresh or a PSVR 2. So in a sense, if they did partner up with Oculus, that's who's making the Oculus Rift anyway, is Lenovo. So they would still all be connected anyway. Let's see here. Boneworks hits #1 on Steam top selling list on release day, which doesn't exactly surprise me because Boneworks is made by Valve, the same people who's going to make Half-Life Alyx, and they think Boneworks is basically setting the groundworks for some of the mechanics that you're going to see in Half-Life Alyx. So I understand that this game, I haven't played it yet, but I understand this game is very, very interactive. So another game that I want to check out, but it's $30. This VR stuff gets a little bit pricey, even though the games are cheaper. Let's see here. What else we got? If logged into Facebook, Oculus VR data will now be used for ads. It's an ad age. Looks like any organization that has a digital format is collecting information, and they all probably selling it to each other and or exchanging it with each other. Let's see. Detroit Become Human. PC specs have dramatically increased. And I think that game also launched on PC on December 12th. I'm not going to double dip, but I would still be curious to see if the PC version of Detroit Become Human looks better than the PS4 Pro. Because as it stands, I still believe that Detroit Become Human is the best looking game that I've ever played. I'm not going to say that it's the best looking game that I've ever seen, because a lot of people feel like Death Stranding is the best looking game they've ever seen. I've only seen videos, which we know are compressed. So I would have to see it on the actual console before I come to that determination. Yes, Chats, I absolutely love Detroit Become Human. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's at the Epic Store or not, though. I'm not entirely sure about that. New Left 4 Dead 4, new Left 4 Dead game reportedly in development. So for those of you who like Left 4 Dead, there could be a new game on the way. Let's see here. Nintendo Switch outsells Xbox One worldwide. That was not a question of if, but when. So I have to go back and try to remember what my prediction was, because when it became a foregone conclusion that the Switch was going to pass the Xbox One in lifetime sales, everybody, the only thing that even made that subject interesting was everybody trying to guess when they thought it was going to happen. In my case, it's 2019. I think my prediction, I had predicted it was probably going to happen the summer of 2019. You said, do Lenovo VR working on the PS4? No. If you're referring to the Rift S, no. But you can use the PSVR headset on PC. There is, I think there's a program out there called Revive or something like that. Impatient Fire, I believe he knows what it is for sure. But there is software out there that allows you to use the PlayStation VR headset on a PC. So if you have a PlayStation VR but don't have a Rift S yet, but you still have a gaming PC, there is a way that you can connect it to the PC and play those games. So something you might want to look into. Boneworks breaks Steam's top 100 player count on launch day. Let's see here. Oculus Quest gets voice command as well as hand tracking. I think I mentioned that yesterday. That the Oculus Quest now has hand tracking where you don't need controllers to navigate through the dashboard. You just reach out at something, pinch, and slide it over. So let me see. I think the last thing here is a Valve Index refresh rate now switchable without Steam VR restart. Which it was only a matter of time before something like that came out, which I was never aware of that, because being that I don't have a Valve Index, I was not aware that if you wanted to switch the refresh rates that you had to restart the headset. But it's not surprising, because there are VR games out there that when you switch the graphical settings, sometimes you have to restart the game for those settings to take effect. So with that being said, I think that's going to do it for me. My son's on the PC right now. At some point, I will have to move him over. I'm going to plan on streaming Touring Cards VR on the PlayStation VR. I got a key from the developer. I had got a PC code from him a while back. He sent all of us at the VR link codes for the PlayStation version, and it was embargoed until this past Wednesday. But I didn't get it done this week because I've been absolutely tired. I will at some point do a stream, whether it's a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. But now that I'm out of YouTube jail and I can stream live on YouTube, I will stream that sometime today. If I end up getting Path of the Warrior, I will stream that today as well. I can't put an exact time on it because I do got some things I need to get done today. I need to run to the store, grab some things, almond milk, all that good stuff. And so I think that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe to my PlayStation friends, my YouTube friends. Sick Humor TV, who is in here under the name of PlayStation Plus Podcast. Check out his content. Very opinionated and giving you his thoughts on the latest things going on within the gaming industry. Subscribe to him. Thanks a lot, Uncompetitive. I appreciate it. Make sure you check us out tomorrow on the VR link on Gamertag VR's channel. Make sure you sub and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live so you don't miss any of the show. We try to, if everything goes well, we try to get started at 2 p.m. Eastern, but it's been known to start at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, depending on how many difficulties we're having with the audio and video and all that kind of good stuff. But make sure you check it out. So that's going to do it for me. I'm starting to get a little bit raspy. Yep. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it. I don't think I really got anything as far as podcast goes. I don't think I got anything else planned because I think I covered everything in this podcast right here. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm a boogie on out of here. And like I said, tie up a few loose ends and treat myself to some gaming because I've been working so much and I've been so tired this week. I haven't really had a chance to do much gaming. So that's that. But I say blah. I'm out of here, y'all. Deuces.